any ice cream maker can claim that they are made in Malaysia. But in my opinion, a truly made in Malaysia ice cream is one that at first taste is able to evoke emotions and experiences of growing up in Malaysia. On today's show, we talk with co-founders of the Last Polka about that magical ice cream. I'm Patrick Lim and I'm a first-time entrepreneur. I founded a company manufacturing and designing urban city bags here in Malaysia. And because I was new to business, I had tons of questions and challenges that needed answers. I started talking with veteran entrepreneurs and they would tell me these great origin stories of theirs. On this show, we talk to entrepreneurs about how they brought their crazy ideas to life. We get to hear their stories of venture and challenges, on how they started from zero to hero. So welcome to the show. We're recording. We are on a timeline. So Vee and May,
hello,
from the Last Polka, ice creams. So this is something very interesting to get into. We had the Vee, very great, very nice restaurant, and you serve your ice creams here too, right?
This is where we started.
This is where you started. Okay. Right, now before we talk about the Last Polka, let's talk about yourself. Before you started the business, what were you doing and what were the majors that you were in school?
Well, how we met was that we were both studying comms and international studies with Monash. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And then I did marketing for some cosmetic skincare product, one of the local companies.
And I was working in communications and strategy for, let's say, an FMCG.
Right.
Yes, a multinational.
So how long were you working with corporates?
4 years, I think.
4 years,
Yeah. And then she came to visit me. We talked about this in 2009. And then the end of 2009 is when we first made our first batch of ice cream together.
Why ice cream?
Why ice cream?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, but how do you come across, how do you chance on ice cream? But do you already have an inkling that you really want to get into business, or
no?
How did that happen?
Well,
did the ice cream come first, or did the business come first?
I actually quit my job and I wanted to study interior design, but the idea came along and she was interested, and she said, "Come, let's start something," And I said, "Well, why not?" And she came up with the idea of an ice cream. She came up with the name, the brand name.
So you already have an idea for an ice cream?
Yeah, I got an ice cream machine as a present, so I was just kind of messing around with it. But I did always, I think, have some idea that I wanted to start a business at some point in my life. I didn't know exactly what it was. And it was just a happy coincidence, like, oh, this ice cream thing is kind of interesting, I want to start a business.
So why do you want to start a business? What was the motivation behind?
I think just that simple desire to do your own thing and to create something from scratch almost, yeah.
She inspired and influenced me.
Fire soul.
And yeah, and I think we just sort of like, I think for me initially how it started was I was really jaded with work. I needed a distraction. So coming back after work, she said, "Hey, let's experiment," and I said, "Okay," and we just took it from there. And for me, it was a project to just sort of distract myself of where I was at work, and I think it came to also a point where I asked myself, is this really what I want to do? So there was a lot of questions. It wasn't work per se, but I think it was just me reaching to a point and asking myself, hey, do I want to, pursue a career? Do I see myself pursuing a career in marketing and climbing up that sort of ladder? And I think it was a no,
And it just built from there because we started it as a side project. It wasn't a kind of drastic, let's drop everything and get into this, and you know,
so we
never
didn't
look back.
we didn't exactly like sit down with this great big business plan and how how we're gonna finance the business, what's the strategy, nothing. It was just
Let's make ice cream.
yeah, let's get some eggs, let's let's what flavors can we start with, and yeah, that's how we did it. But I think the business was definitely there in mind, so we did really work at it. So it was always okay, looking at aspects of costing, pricing. Was it just okay for fun? We were working, obviously at that time. The dream was like, okay, no, let's go, let's start, let's have a shop. So we'll walk around stores and look at new stuff, look at shops, and wonder, okay, if there's an ice cream shop, how would it be designed and stuff like that.
So where else did that bring to next? What,
so that's where
were you already working with a budget in mind, or
God,
at
I
that
wish
time
we had.
no.
you have not gotten a product yet, but you already have an idea for a product?
No,
Or
this is
you have already received it. You have already conceived it.
It was because the ice cream thing was it's as basic as that. You make the ice cream, and
Correct.
we've been trying kind of here and there. We said, let's put it in pints, and then we'll just kind of sell it online. We'll set up a website, which we did overnight, plug into Google Docs. Let's see what orders come in.
Uh-huh.
And that's how we started.
Yeah.
So how was the response like? How do you get that? I mean, it's so easy to set up a website. It's so easy to set up a Google Docs, but
So we literally
it's like
started with
literally a needle in a haystack.
We literally started with family first. I think
Right.
family
Friends.
first and friends, and then friends with plenty of followers on Twitter.
Yeah. I think they're just
yeah.
humoring us at first, but it's ice cream as well. So hey guys, I'm gonna make ice cream. Do you want to try it? Go order it on my website. And yeah, it's like why not? And I think it was good enough, or they liked it enough that they started telling other people about it. And
we started with Horlicks ice cream. That was our first flavor. So
we had 6. Yeah, Horlicks is one of the 6.
Horlicks was one of the 6. But that was the one I think that really stood out. So when tweets went out, people were like, "Whoa, wow! I've never heard of a Horlicks ice cream." I think that was the wow flavor, and that sort of got around.
Yeah. So it kind of just rolled along like that, and
we definitely pushed it a little bit as well, to make sure, okay, let's try and see if we can sell 50 tubs in a month, that sort of thing.
Yeah, very arbitrary. These goals, like, if we could sell 30, then it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then from friends and families to, hey, a name that we don't recognize that came in on our, order form.
Oh my God, this is not your friend. It's not my friend.
Oh.
It's a stranger! And it sort of picked up from there.
Yeah.
It picked up quite quickly because the food bloggers, we really have them to thank, kind of zoomed in on it. And
How long did that take?
A couple of months. Yeah.
So I think December was when we sort of, okay, we have the 6 flavors, and then it was March that Clue magazine picked us up and featured us. So that was our first magazine feature. And from there, actually, food bloggers read the magazine. They featured it on their food blog, and it just went on. So,
and by May or June, we were stocking here. This was our first, and again, this wasn't planned because, like we said, we had a little dream of a shop, but this was more why don't you put a freezer in our new cafe and we'll sell it for you. And over the past 1.5 years, 2 years, that's the model we've basically been operating on, partnering cafes like the Vee, and just kind of putting a freezer there and they sell it for us.
So what happened was we went from a home machine, and outgrew the home machines, grew the models, and decided that, I still remember May always said, because I'm the one that was a bit more afraid, I'm not sure about we should take the leap, and she's like, it's a chicken and egg situation. You always be. It's either you just take the leap, take the risk, and then hope that you would get more orders and grow the business from there. You can't just we can't order, or we can't be buying our next or third home machine. It's either this or a commercial industrial size machine, and I was obviously like freaking out because hey, it's one of those machines is price of a local car, and that was a big huge commitment, and I wasn't sure, but she always said, I still remember, yeah, it's a chicken or egg situation,
It's so easy to abuse that. See.
So coming to that point, right? You're into a business that requires a lot of speed, and because you're talking about ice cream is perishable, expiration, as well as it melts.
It melts. Mm-hmm.
So during year one, during the first early 6 months, how was that like working with a product that is so difficult to take care of?
I don't know, we learned a lot along the way just by trial and error. The first time we were supposed to deliver a whole batch of stocks, I dumped a whole bunch of ice in a styrofoam box, thinking that,
it'll keep it cold.
We're gonna keep it cold, yeah.
Ice cream and then like ice on top of it, except all the ice melted.
Melted.
So we had a beautiful block of like ice cream encrusted and encased in ice. You go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we screwed up so many times. Just to answer that very generally, you kind of use common sense and go, well, I'm gonna do it this way, and then the universe tells you, no, you ain't. And you just figure it out. You're still figuring it out.
Figure out a lot of stuff.
Different problems now.
So how? Dry ice? Eventually,
We don't use dry ice.
Mm-hmm. You don't use
the
dry ice?
styrofoam box keeps it really frozen as long as you have it packed with a lot of ice cream. So yeah, it's fine.
So
Yeah.
that's enough.
And we operate within PJ and KL already.
How many
We don't go
freezers
that
do you
far.
have in the house?
Well, we've moved out of the house, definitely. Moved out of our mom's kitchen. We got a space.
So
So
that
it was all slow steps, small steps. Obviously, got a freezer in my mom's kitchen. She got another freezer in her kitchen, and we obviously outgrew our own fridge and freezer and said, hey, by the time we got our commercial machine, it was like, this can't definitely sit in my mom's kitchen. We have to get a space, So it's just all little decisions and little steps. So it's like, okay, one cafe to another, because that's where we started realizing, hey, we gotta pay rent for this new space. We really gotta take it further, and so it's one cafe, one restaurant, and after a while, we had a lot of inquiries, had a lot of media feature. A lot of people featured us, which was we were really grateful.
Really lucky.
We never, in this sense, had to send out like press release, knock on journalists, or send emails out. So everyone came to us in that sense. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
okay. So let's talk about the finance aspect of it. Obviously, you got the ice cream maker as a gift, right? So there was like your initial capital investment in the business has already been paid for. So what about the subsequent of getting the freezers, getting the industrial maker? How was that like?
You're gonna be able to answer this better.
Well, before the industrial machine, everything was our own money. Buying products and shelves and containers and additional home ice cream machines. They all came from our
Three
savings.
little pockets.
Yes.
Was it difficult to take that plunge?
Like, why do I need to pay 2,000 ringgit on another ice cream machine when I could buy, go shopping for something else? I gave up a lot of, I'm sure we gave up a lot of stuff to buy Nutella, shelving, containers, products, yeah.
Eggs, sugar.
Eggs,
but you see,
sugar.
it's not a conscious decision where you go, wow, this is how much I'm going to be putting out. Well,
Yeah.
not for us anyway. It was, you know, orders were coming in, and you go, well, if I have 100 liters of ice cream to make, I need this much stuff, you know, and you just go, great. Well, I'm going to buy what I need to make this, you know, and I think that's just kind of a natural progression.
We obviously
Yeah.
went to our parents to get some loan from them. to-
Like how you say, obviously.
because
Obviously don't have money
we,
or anything.
yeah, and neither did we go to the bank because we had no plans. So I was
So
like,
it's microfinancing,
Yes.
you know, kind of like.
So was it difficult to ask mom and dad?
to a certain extent, you know, like I mean, from my background where I wanted to quit my job, and then I was volunteering for an organization, getting $500 allowance every month, and then telling my parents, "Hey, I'm doing this ice cream thing, and I want to borrow your money."
I'm not making any more money. Like
But
I'm making very little, and I want
wanna
your
get
money.
money.
It's a good
So,
deal.
but Dad, you know, see, if you put it in FD, you're not going to get as much interest. So I'm going to give you a bit more interest than what the FD can give
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah.
did a
We did
smart
give-
calculation, and then signed and got the machine ordered from Italy, and it came. But I think I think our parents saw that there was a real effort and there was a real take up. You know, it was really, you know, moving
Yeah.
very well. We had projects working with GAB, both Guinness and Heineken there. So it's really quite exciting for them to see, like, hey, you know, you're working and you're working on projects, you're getting a lot of orders. Our parents, while we were working, they were busy. Our moms were busy helping us churn and pack ice cream. You know, so they were really quite involved in the early stages as well. Leave them a note. This is, you know, how many Tupperwares of this flavor I need. Can you churn it for me? I'm going to work. Thanks. And you
If
know,
you're going out for groceries, look out for
For
milk.
milk.
Is it on discount? Can you buy some
can
eggs?
you buy some eggs for us? You know, yeah. So it's exciting. And
So were
from
you
there,
still working that time?
Yes.
I mean, you're on with the organization. What about you, May?
I was working as well.
You were
yeah.
still working.
yeah.
And so it was late nights every day.
After work, every day when you
Ish.
feel like, you know, you're really tired out, you gotta make. And then there's obviously the part where it's not so, you know, it's fun but not so fun anymore, because at 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, when you're washing up your dishes and you're so tired, it's just.
What am I doing? Why?
On the weekends when you gotta, you know, you want to put out a new flavor, you want to, I mean, we had tasting parties and we had to experiment. It's work in the end. Yeah, it's fun, but it's still work, you know?
It's a business.
It's a business, yeah.
So at what point when you finally realize, okay, I think we made somewhere and this is gonna project and we have organic growth. When
Yeah.
do you start to feel that you have organic growth?
Well, towards the August or September 2010. So I would say about 9 months after we started experimenting, guys were opening up a cafe at Taylor's Lakeside campus, approached us and say, hey, do you guys want to try out, you know, a space at the university? And I think that was our second leap after getting the machine. And we said, okay, you know, if we were ever going to start up a shop, then
Let's
this
use
is a little
this as a testing ground.
yeah,
sort
testing
of,
ground, playground, and see, because commitment's not so high. You know, you're not dealing with running this space all on your own. I mean, we don't come from F&B because we have no idea about running operations for a place at all. So I said, hey, this is small enough. Let's test it out. And so that's when I think I quit my work wherever I was volunteering, and I said, okay, you know, someone's got to do this full time. Pretty much. Yeah. And then it was full time all the way then. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the product. What is about your product that is unique that people just picked it up? Besides the fact that it's local flavor, like flavor that they've never tasted
I think
before,
that-
unexpected.
Well, I guess
Exactly.
the kind of that's one thing that's kind of the unique selling point. But just by virtue of it being like handmade ice cream, because we don't have a lot of that here. Well, now we I think it's might be growing, but it's barely any of it. And when we grew up with the big international brands and the smaller and the big local brands, the kind of mass products when it comes to ice cream. So I think as soon as there's something that's a bit different from that, there is some interest.
I would point out to say that design and packaging and the visuals, you know,
very pretty,
very very important as well.
But yeah.
I buy books and stuff based on their covers and how well the packaging looks like, and I think, you know, that was an element that, you know, we paid a lot of attention to with posters, with logos, design, website, everything.
It's the identity of the brand. We said, you know, we're never gonna let it get too muddled. We're very clear, you know, between the both of us what the Last Polka stands for and how it should be communicated to people, how it should look, how it should feel, what kind of associations people make with that. So I think that in a more, it's not as tangible as, you know, let's say the taste of the ice cream or whatever, but I think it's part of the package.
It's a story.
It's
a story as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think
the story.
that's a lot of the appeal right there, you know, and pictures on Facebook and, you know, is what gets, you know, viral, I would say. Oh, people start commenting on the picture, or they like because the packaging is so cute, and they really like the colors they try, you know. That's how a lot of it gets get word around. It's how we got some new like restaurants approaching us because it was a picture of an ice cream that they saw. I mean, you can't really tell a taste by a picture, but, you know, visually how the packaging looks like, they like it, and so they approach us based on that as well. So
was that another daunting task, considering that you have never done this before, right?
It was daunting.
I think that was the fun part.
That was the fun part.
That was the fun part. That's the part that we still love doing. Yeah.
Color should be like this. That pixel should go there a little bit.
Let's make it 20% bigger.
Reduce the opacity. That's the fun part.
Do you have someone to do that for you, or
yeah,
all
we have several. I think we're very involved. The hands-on part of it is that we usually have quite clear ideas of what things should look like or feel like, and but we work with very good designers who translate that into an actual poster or packaging or label, whatever.
Was it difficult to find these other designers, considering the fact that you are new and, you know?
Well, we started with my friend and then a designer that I hired at some point. Her name's Lainey. Lainey, plug her. You know, and she's one of the best designers I know in KL. And
she's part of Last Polka?
No, she's not.
She's the party.
Yes, but I'll tell you how we started with her when we had absolutely, like, you know, in December, and I said, you know, we kind of need a working logo. It doesn't have to be perfect. Told her about this thing. Lainey, try this ice cream I'm making, and I need a logo for it, but I cannot pay you. So what I do promise you is free ice cream, like forever and ever. She goes, yeah, okay.
Okay. She must really like the ice cream.
She does.
She was one of the one who really helped us, you know, tweet out and promote our ice cream. I remember that.
Yeah, our very first logo is not what you see now. It was like a melty.
Oh yeah,
remember? It looked like a snowman.
It's more. Yeah, I remember now.
And she still is our designer now, except that she gets paid properly. That's how we started.
I think flavors as well, selection of flavors that we want to make, and the quality. Like, you know, you think of what a particular flavor should taste like, and it's exactly like you really want to achieve what the flavor is, you know. I mean, say if it's going to be dark chocolate orange and whatever we picture in our head, I want it to taste like that, should exactly be how it tastes like. So if it falls short to that, then
how do you achieve that?
Really just go like, okay, are you satisfied with this darker chocolate orange? If she says no, there's something like that, I don't think it's orangey enough, you know, something, it's flat, or, you know, the flavor's not full.
Yeah, it's very nice to actually, I mean, I think part of the benefit of this partnership is that you get to bounce ideas off someone else, and you know that there's always going to be two voices, you know, in this. Just for example, the flavor that we launched today, brown butter and almond. We went through so many iterations of it, and up till this morning we're still comparing two slightly different recipes, and we go, what do you like about this one? What do you like about this? Can we tweak this way?
How do you know what to tweak?
I think it's a lot, just based on your taste.
learn by
Maybe you
doing.
like the way this char kway teow is made, and it's just a personal preference, and you're gonna
Yes.
make sure I'm gonna fry this char kway teow the way I like it, and you're gonna get it right.
You don't have a char kway teow
No, but
ice cream, do you?
it's
Okay, I think it's a combination of one, personal preferences, two, having done this, I guess, enough to know what works
Right.
with
Yes.
people.
And Malaysian palate, what would
Exactly.
we like? Yeah.
Yeah.
But also our customers, I mean, it's where we have our tasting party. And
Yes.
they give us a lot of feedback. And that's important because sometimes it's just like, okay, we may like this.
We think this is awesome, and then 30 people tell us, no, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Or it's too heavy, So that's where. But I think at the end of the day, if we like it, if we stamp an approval on it, then
It's Last Polka's secret. If we like it, you should like it too.
So, well, it kind of have worked so far. I mean,
It's a combination
we
of
do take
factors,
a lot of the idea, feedback, and then work on it. So definitely.
Let's talk about the story of Last Polka. What does the brand signify? And
It's always
How-
her story.
No, not where the name came from, what it signifies.
Really? Okay. I think it's almost the same thing.
No, I think the Last Polka is...
now that you mentioned it, how do you come up? How do you come
leading
up with that
question.
name?
It's actually the name of a song by my favorite band, Ben Folds 5. This is from the debut album. So I said, again, I was just like, I really
Years
love
and
them.
years and years
years
ago.
ago. I'm like, I'm gonna own a business one day, and I'm gonna name it after. I'm gonna own some businesses and name them after Ben Folds 5 songs. So the Last Polka was one of them, and we kind of we liked the feel of it. It wasn't gonna be called something frozen or some creamery thing or dairy whatever, because I think
Because
that's
that would be,
just a bit.
The
very
standard,
typical.
Yeah, exactly. And the Last Polka is always a conversation starter. Once you actually get past the point of like,
Oh, it's ice cream.
yeah, the last and then you have to go, polka? That? Oh, why? And it's always fun to get into that. Yeah. And what it stands for, was that the question?
Yeah. What's the story that behind Last Polka?
Well, I think just basically it's about an independently made product. I think we've always said it's innovation meets nostalgia, because if you look at the flavors we started with, it was really kind of Malaysian and old school, like Horlicks and teh tarik and peanut butter and malt,
Flavors that we grew up with.
Exactly. And we said we were always going to be inspired by those sorts of things. Our childhood in KL,
Yeah.
things that, made us happy as 7-year-olds. But on the other side of it is also, we're privileged to be able to do whatever we want really in terms of flavors. Let's make a chocolate chili or a sweet bacon or a miso or a tom yum, and we've actually done those things. And we can't say that's nostalgia. That's just, pushing the envelope and
Yes.
going, let's do what people don't think is necessarily possible or
With ice cream.
naturally associated with ice
Yeah.
cream. So I think it's always going to be a combination of these two factors. And when we said, okay, if we're going to do something, kind of typical, like for example, ramen raisin, which you can find. I'm gonna. It's like yawns. Catches on. We're like, okay, ramen raisin, kind of old school, but that's not. We have to do something slightly different. And if you taste our rum raisin, you'll find that it's a bit citrusy. We use a bit of orange in that. Our technique is slightly different. So let's just make sure there's always something different, even to the classics.
Yeah, I think classics are good. I mean that's because they're just flavors that everyone already likes.
Yeah.
But just make a really good version, make a really good homemade version of it. Yeah, I think we pay attention to the kind of ingredients that we use. I mean, I think, yeah, it's kind of standard. A lot of restaurants would say that, you know, the quality of the ingredient. But yeah, it's true, you know, like you don't want to feed someone else a product and ingredients that you are not comfortable eating yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's the other thing we hope the brand actually stands for as well. You know, quality ingredients and a quality approach to the whole ice cream making process. We don't serve people things we wouldn't eat. We don't serve something that's that we're not happy with. You know, we'll get it right before it ends up in a shop.
I'm quite particular with my food, like and what I consume. So I mean, when we made the pandan kaya flavor, and I was like, there's absolutely no coloring and flavoring that's gonna go into this at all. So it's, you know, we're gonna have to deal with the whole freshly, you know, pound pandan. So I mean, once I started doing it, I really appreciate, and I say, you know, hats off to restaurants who really use natural ingredients, because it's so easy to just walk by one of those baking shop and pick up a pandan flavoring and just pour it. But the amount of work we have to do, just like washing all the leaves, blending it through, and you know, just getting it and extracting it, is hours of preparation work. And so many times it's just like, you know, it's easier to just, you know, just drop like the whole
It's just doing
essence.
things the right way. You know, just being proud of the end product and not taking shortcuts.
The kaya as well. We say we want a homemade kaya. We want someone to, you know, just like pay attention to the kaya just the way we would with our ice cream. And Simply Mel's is one of the Malaccan Portuguese restaurant that we stock our ice cream. Auntie Melba makes really nice homemade kaya from her mom. She can't give you the recipe because it's all by touch and feel. And you know, and yeah, exactly. And you hear her describe, you know, like, I don't have the recipe. I just, you know, I just make it. I really don't know. It just feels right, and then that's how the kaya is made. When we use it, and I said, yeah, it'd be perfect for ice cream. So that's just the approach that we want to take. Hope to continue doing that. It's not always easy, not always achievable, because you're dealing with natural, fresh ingredients. So we're learning so much. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say one fine day as you were testing this particularly new product, never tested before, first scoop of white ice cream, and bam, you'll be sent back to time. And you chance upon yourselves, you know, days before you started Last Polka. What would be the top 3 things you would share with yourself?
You go first.
Don't say, do it, you're gonna make a lot of money. No, that's not gonna work. But you know, top 3 wisdom that you would share with yourself.
Definitely look for people, whether it's friends, network, get to know people in the same industry if you really don't know, if it's a new industry that you're jumping into, because there's a lot of technical knowledge sometimes that you wouldn't know. It's good to have support or people that you can refer to. Mentors. Support, I mean, even down to just knowing contacts with suppliers, and you know, there's so many things involved. So I think that would be one of my top advice I'll give myself.
So we have to come up with 3 between the both of us, right? So
Yeah,
just
that's
1.5, you know, things each. I can't think of 3. I can't even think of one. I think I probably would have told myself to persist. You know, I think so much of this is about, it's all exciting and it's happy days and fun times, but above all, it's about being very patient and being committed and
discipline.
Yeah, it's absolute, and just kind of eye on the prize sort of thing, because there's going to be times where you go, what on earth am I doing and where's this going, and
I don't feel like doing this anymore.
Or this sucks.
Days where you get a call from from the restaurant telling you that the freezer broke down on a Saturday at 11 o'clock. and you really don't want to drive yourself to the restaurant
but
to
I'm
check
going
it.
to brunch.
Or, you know, it's late, I've got plans, but hey, you know, when those days happen, and they've happened many times, I just say, I just wanted to make ice cream. Why am I dealing with freezers? But you've got to learn, you know.
And it's your product. You're not going to go, well, I don't care. You're going to go, yeah, okay, I'm going to drop everything to fix this problem, you know.
Because it took you a whole entire week to make all the stocks that are sitting in the freezer there. It's not a one call, I'm just going to place my orders, you know. You crack the eggs, you beat, you stirred the custards, you set them.
lifted 20 kilos.
You handwritten all the lids, and they're just all going to go to waste.
And these are all your babies.
Yeah, your problem's now my problem, and I'm going to go fix it, you know.
And you learn, you sit there, and your technician comes, you ask him a million questions with regards to your freezer, you know, because you need to understand and then translate that to the person managing that freezer. And it's not us, because we work with retailers and partners, so it's a matter of, okay, this is how this freezer works. And this is temperature of the ice cream. This is how,
this is how you troubleshoot. This is the number you call if something goes seriously wrong. That's my number. This is a Sunday, but call me anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, was that
persistence? You know, just sticking, you know, having enough confidence to know that, yeah, I know this is kind of where I'm going. This is kind of what I want out of it. And I'm gonna stay with it. And that, you know, I think it's a simple thing to say, but it involves so much. Just, it's like marriage, you know, you go, I'll stick with you through the rough times.
And planning. I know it's so easy to say, I know it's important to plan. Everyone says it's important to plan, but sometimes when you've just gotten past a stage of growth, you know, you're so like, you know, it's tiring. It's tiring to grow, because it needs every step of the way. It's not like we hire consultants and we go like, okay, we're going to pay you this much money, just help it get us, you know, there and teach us everything. You know, we learn from scratch, at least, you know, to this point, we've all done everything, you know, from scratch. But it's so easy to just sit back and you just want to rest for a bit because it's tiring.
Kind of awesome, you know, we're growing, but you know, there's, you know, no rest for the wicked. Kind of like, okay, what's next? What's the plan? What we're gonna do? Yeah, she mostly takes the lead on that because I'm like, oh, I think we're doing. No. Plan for the next quarter. Okay.
What's the next year's strategy? You know. And as much as, you know, we get lazy all the time, seriously, you know, I used to want, and for me, every stage of growth is very, very difficult. I feel like, oh, you know, it's really out of my comfort zone. No, seriously, before we started hiring, you know, when I had to hire for drivers to help us deliver our ice cream, I told the week before, we put up an ad in the Star, and the week before our interviews were all scheduled, I sat in the office and cried. And I said, you know, I don't know how to do this. I was really overwhelmed. And I was talking to friends. I said, do you guys, I mean, all the entrepreneurs out there just seem to be, you know, courageous, go-getters. They know exactly what they want.
Oh no, we cry every day.
I sat in the kitchen and cried. I panicked for days and days and days. And I was, I can't do this alone, and that's why I think, it's great having a partner, because I'm the stressed up, worry about everything, and she's my source of calm.
Coffee.
So
After 6 coffees, anything's possible. I'm kidding.
So I wish, for me, no, I wish for me that there would be more entrepreneurs who would tell me, there were plenty of days where they broke down and cried and, you know, just didn't know or feel like they know how to do this at all. I want more stories like that. More stories of people telling me that they failed, that they didn't know, you know, how to do things as well. And got advice.
So that's what this show is all about?
Yes. Because all the magazine write-ups will be like, oh...
Too short, right?
Yes, too short. They don't tell you all these days.
Good stuff, the good stuff.
A best-selling flavor of all time is salted gula melaka. is this one. This is a take-home pint. Our latest flavor, which we're very proud of, is brown butter and almond. Ta-da! That's the little cups which you find in all the retail partners. And rum raisin's really yummy. Horlicks is our very first flavor. Nutella is the other bestseller. What else do you want to know?
Ice cream cake.
Check out the ice cream cake. This one is painstakingly made. I know it's not very pretty. It's like, look away. But see, it's yummy. It's a bit dark. There's like layers upon layers of ice cream and berry sauce and yeah, and then a biscuit base. This one's my favorite. This is my favorite, I think, in this freezer. That's Horlicks. That's okay. It's a chocolate layer. Then that's Horlicks ice cream. There's a butterscotch caramel layer. That's Oreos and oats.
Voila.
Et voila. This is the small size. This is the ice cream cake. And this is the pint. That goes back in before it melts.
To the last question, where do you think Last Polka is right now? Hero, zero or hero?
Zero.
The hero.
The hero.
At least we're on the same page.
I think
No, I think we're heroes.
I think we're heroes. I think we're heroes.
Because we really
in
started
progress.
with nothing. You know, to be able to actually say we have, 10 partners, 13, 14 different places that stock our ice cream, I think we've done something right. Definitely done something right. Taking the work seriously, making sure the ice cream is great. We've done this for 2 years. Ice cream flavors that we launch have tasted, pretty much the same or if not better as we've gone over the years. I think if not, no one would approach us to say, hey, we really like the Last Polka, we want to stock your ice cream. We're still small.
Sorry.
We're really still small.
And I think we're gonna grow and we have a ton of things to learn. But to arrive at the point that we're at now, I think we're very proud of ourselves,
Never would we imagine coming this far at all. Yeah. If not, could have just sold the machine and given our parents back then with money and said, nah, it didn't work out.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Shake your hand on that. Good job.
Should we,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for
Thanks
the
for
time.
having us.
Oh, last thing. Is there anything you want to plug? I heard that you have a new flavor today.
Yes, launching today, brown butter and almond and vanilla bean. 2 new flavors.
Where can
Both
they go?
very good.
Where can they go to get their grubby hands on it?
This is one place, but also there's a full list of retail partners on our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/thelastpolka.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. We're passionate about making amazing urban bags. So we don't compromise on things that make a poor quality product. What we refuse to compromise on is how we deliver our bags to our users. Because getting the bags to our users on time and securely is what completes our definition of a truly amazing quality product.